transitioned out of it. That's why I was so frustrated. I'm like, dude, you know I'm in here. How do you feel comfortable having this conversation with me in there, and you're just having, oh my gosh. I was like, dude.
So then what, you decided to just come out?
I couldn't sit in there. My legs were going tired, so I started moving around, because I'm like, okay, maybe that's an easier way. And then Michael's like, oh yeah, I think Kyle's in there trying to scare you. I'm like, dude.
I knew it. They were in there for way too long. I was like, I know they're
talking.
talking.
I'm like, and the conversation like went dead multiple times, and they would just sit there. And then he would ask a question, and I'm like, dude, you've got to be outside of your mind. Get her out of this fucking room. And he sat there with her, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
That is like worst case scenario.
That's what I'm saying. And then she was embarrassed because she was like, oh, I knew you were in there the whole time. She had no idea.
Yeah. That was not a good thing for you.
I cannot believe he just sat there and talked.
He should have been like, whatever, let's talk about this later.
Exactly. Or like, yeah, we got to go. Something's outside. Especially knowing that you guys were all waiting out there expecting some big scare. And then instead it's 15 minutes later. And then, like, honestly, in this entire game, that was the most frustrated I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah. Right there. Because I'm like, dude, you are outside of your mind.
Yeah.
Don't say anything because I'm not going to bring it up. I think I feel bad. But...
Okay, definitely not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything to anyone ever again in my whole life in this house.
Yeah.
Do you think that I should say something to Monty about the old school thing, or do you think he's going to ask? Because he can ask Terrence and Jasmine and they will tell him, but then is it going to make her flip out and it's going to get around just like everything else? I don't know if that's a good move on my part or not.
I think what you need to do is just try and get the focus on Nicole, which is the target, which I'm going
to tell him because she always says her purpose in this game is to protect the females in the house, and I'll tell him that. She lies to everybody.
Well, and she was talking shit about you like this morning.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, Alyssa tells everything, or maybe yesterday, I don't even remember. I'm so
could imagine. Yeah, she freaks me out, so I didn't put her on Have Not. I was like, she's just so emotional, and I know Monty was pissed that she flipped out when we were in that back room. Like when I said the indie thing and she ran through the house.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to talk to him about that. But his speech was nice. It made me feel good.